Most people completely misunderstand this process, and because of that, they assume that registering a company in an unfamiliar country is either too complicated, too risky, or only meant for large corporations with international legal teams. But if you are thinking about forming an LLC in Madagascar, there is something extremely important you need to understand first. Because Madagascar's company registration system is not just a simple form-filling exercise. It is a structured legal process shaped by French civil law influence, administrative procedures, and foreign investment rules that determine how quickly you can operate, and how stable your business will be once it is formed. And if you don't understand that structure before you begin, you can easily run into delays, confusion, or unexpected legal steps that slow your entire plan down. Now let's begin with a story. A young entrepreneur named Michael from Florida had been running an online digital services business. He worked with clients globally, mostly in Europe and Africa, and he was searching for a low-cost jurisdiction where he could legally structure his international income and expand into new markets. One night, while researching offshore-friendly business locations, he came across something unexpected. Madagascar LLC formation. Low operational costs. Strategic geographic location, near Africa. Flexible business environment for foreign investors. And relatively low corporate setup requirements compared to Western countries. It sounded like a hidden opportunity. So Michael made a decision. He would explore forming a company in Madagascar. But what he didn't realize is that Madagascar does not use the term LLCE in the same informal way people use it in the United States. Instead, the closest equivalent is a SARL, which stands for Société à Responsabilité Limitée, a French-style limited liability company structure. And this is where most people start to misunderstand the process. Because even though the concept is similar to an LLC, the legal framework, documentation, and administrative process are completely different. But here's where things get interesting. Michael assumed he could just submit an online application, upload his passport, and receive a company certificate within a few days. But when he started researching deeper, he discovered something important. Madagascar company formation is centralized, formal, and requires interaction with multiple administrative offices depending on your business activity. And that one detail changes everything. Now let's introduce another character. Zara, a freelance marketing consultant from Los Angeles, was looking for a low-cost international base for her remote business. She wanted access to African markets and a legal structure that could support cross-border consulting. She heard Madagascar offered low startup costs and foreign ownership options, so she decided to explore it. But when she began researching, she immediately ran into confusion. Different sources mentioned different steps. Some talked about investment approvals. Others mentioned notarized documents. Some mentioned tax registration delays. And this is where most people get stuck. Because Madagascar's system is not complicated, but it is procedural. And procedures must be followed in the correct order. Now here is the first key insight. In Madagascar, the most common business structure for foreign entrepreneurs is the SARL, which functions similarly to an LLC in terms of limited liability protection. This means your personal assets are generally protected from business liabilities, as long as the company is properly formed and maintained. But here's the important part most people miss. The process is not purely digital. It involves physical documentation, official registration centers, and tax authority interaction. And that is where planning becomes essential. Now Michael begins to realize something critical. This is not just about creating a company. It is about entering a structured administrative system that requires accuracy and sequencing. And once he understands that, everything starts to make more sense. But let's break it down step by step in a natural way, like he actually experiences it. The first step is choosing a company name. At first, Michael thinks this will be simple. He picks a name that reflects his digital consulting brand and submits it for approval. But here's where the first reality check happens. In Madagascar, company names must be verified to ensure they are not already in use, and that they comply with legal naming standards. And because the system is influenced by French administrative law, naming conventions are more formal than many entrepreneurs expect. So instead of instant approval, there is a verification process. Michael waits. And what happens next changes his expectations. His first choice is rejected due to similarity with an existing entity. And this is where he learns something important. In Madagascar, naming is not creativity first. It is legality first. So he revises his name and resubmits it. Approved. Now Sarah goes through the same process and realizes something quickly. Even small details in naming can affect approval speed. And this becomes a recurring theme throughout the entire process. Now the next step is where structure becomes even more important. Drafting the company statutes. This is one of the most important legal documents in Madagascar company formation. It defines ownership structure, management responsibilities, capital distribution, and operational rules. And here's where many foreign entrepreneurs make a mistake. They treat this document as a formality. But in reality, it is the legal backbone of the company. Michael initially tries to simplify it, but his advisor explains something crucial. If your statutes are unclear, you may face delays in registration, tax classification issues, or banking complications later. So he carefully defines himself as the sole shareholder and manager. This is common in small international SARL structures. Now let's pause here, because this is an important insight. The quality of your documents determines the speed of your approval. Not luck. Not shortcuts. Accuracy. Now comes the next major step. Notarization. In Madagascar, certain company documents must be notarized before they are accepted for registration. This is a step that surprises many foreign entrepreneurs because they expect a fully digital process. But here's the reality. Notarization is part of ensuring legal authenticity. So Michael has to work with a local notary to validate his documents. And this is where Sarah experiences her first real delay. She did not realize her documents needed official certification before submission. So her application is paused. But here's the important lesson. Delays are not rejections. They are corrections. Once she completes notarization, her application moves forward. Now let's move to the next stage. Registration with the Economic Development Board or relevant business registry. This is where your company becomes officially recognized. You submit your notarized statutes, identity documents, proof of address, and registration forms. And then the review process begins. Now here's where expectations matter. Processing time can vary depending on workload, completeness of documents, and business type. Sometimes it is fast. Sometimes it takes longer. But the key factor is accuracy. Michael's application moves quickly because everything is prepared correctly. Sarah's takes longer because of missing details that needed correction. And this is where both of them realize something important. Madagascar does not reward speed. It rewards preparation. Now once approved, the next step is tax registration. This is where your company becomes part of the official fiscal system. You receive a tax identification number, and your company is now legally recognized for business activity. And this moment feels like real progress. Because now the business is no longer theoretical. It is operational in a legal sense. But there is still one more critical step. Bank account opening. And this is where many entrepreneurs encounter the most variation. Banks in Madagascar require documentation such as incorporation certificates, statutes, identification, and sometimes proof of business activity. And here's the part most people underestimate. Banking depends heavily on clarity. If your business model is unclear, approval can be delayed. Michael prepares a simple explanation of his consulting services and international clients. And that clarity helps him move through the process successfully. Sarah does the same after restructuring her documentation. And eventually, both receive approval. And suddenly, their companies are fully operational. But here's where the deeper insight appears. Registering a company is not the final goal. It is the beginning of operating within a structured legal and financial system. And Madagascar, like many civil law countries, expects ongoing compliance. Annual filings, tax declarations, and proper accounting records are all part of maintaining legal status. But once again, this is not a barrier. It is a framework. And once you understand the framework, you can operate confidently within it. Now let's bring everything together. Michael started this journey thinking Madagascar would be a simple offshore setup with minimal requirements. But what he discovered is something more grounded and structured. Madagascar offers an accessible sorrel formation system for foreign entrepreneurs, but it requires proper documentation, notarization, and procedural compliance. Zara learned that small preparation mistakes can delay the process, but they are always fixable. And both of them learned that the real value of international company formation is not just cost savings. It is building a legitimate legal structure that supports global business operations. So here's the final insight. If you are planning to register a company in Madagascar, the opportunity is real, but it is not automatic. You must respect the process, prepare your documents correctly, and follow the administrative steps in the right order. Because the biggest mistake most people make is assuming that simple setup means no structure. It does not. It means structured simplicity. And once you understand that difference, everything becomes clearer, more predictable, and far easier to manage. So take this with you. Preparation creates speed. Structure creates stability. And understanding creates opportunity. And now you understand Madagascar sorrel formation far better than most people who approach it without guidance. If you found this guide helpful and want more detailed breakdowns of global business setups like this, make sure to subscribe for more clear, practical, and in-depth guides that simplify international opportunities.